Let's now talk about US's economic story. Now, Donald Trump has doubled down on economic warfare using tariffs to pressure trading partners and sanctions to isolate America's rivals. But are these tools really working? A growing number of legal challenges, economic studies, and geopolitical developments suggest that the costs are increasingly falling on American consumers and businesses, while many target countries continue to adapt. Let's start with tariffs. After Supreme Court struck down Trump's unilateral tariffs, the administration imposed fresh duties of up to 12.5% on 60 countries under Section 301, arguing they are needed to combat forced labor.
China, first row. China, 67%. That's tariffs.
But those tariffs are now facing a lawsuit from 25 Democrat-led U.S. states, which argue that the administration exceeded its legal authority and is effectively imposing a tax on American consumers. Economists say the evidence also raises questions over who actually bears the burden of tariffs. Rather than forcing exporters to absorb the cost, studies suggest American importers and consumers have paid the overwhelming majority through higher prices. Instead of hurting foreign producers, tariffs have often boosted profits for protected American industries while raising costs for downstream manufacturers and consumers. U.S. steel prices have climbed after tariffs, helping domestic steel makers report sharply higher earnings. Meanwhile, many companies have simply shifted supply chain away from China rather than bringing production back to the United States. Imports from China have fallen sharply, while countries such as Mexico and Vietnam have emerged as major beneficiaries. The same pattern appears in sanctions as well. Washington has tightened restrictions on Russia, targeting banks, energy exports, and even threatening secondary tariffs on countries buying Russian oil. But Russia is increasingly relied on alternative payment systems, regional banks, shadow ship as well. Meanwhile, major buyers such as China and India continue purchasing Russian energy, driven by their own economic interests. Analysts argue that sanctions have raised costs and complicated Russian trade, but they have not fundamentally changed Moscow's strategic decisions. LNG fleets and trade through third countries as well. Whether through tariffs or sanctions, Trump's strategy is built on using America's economic power to change the behavior of other countries. But the evidence increasingly suggests that many targeted nations are adapting or have already adapted. So the broader question now is whether economic pressure remains as effective in a more fragmented global economy, or whether it is accelerating the very shifts that reduce U.S. economic leverage.